those methods elected, it becomes incredibly hard to govern responsibly for.
Wow. So the AI use of the CBDCSs and digital STEF-DOM, the new digital order. This is Days of Noah. What an excellent. This is the channel. Days of Noah. Let me check the date. Does it give me a date? So it's always been planned as not Tuesday, 4th the 10th, 2022. This is a plan all along for those that can't be adapted to the control of the mind. Why do you think the targeted program exists? Right? Testing the advancement of technology. For the transhumanism wants to live forever. Who do you think advancement in technology of the higher pyramid level? Nephian demonic entities, right? Manipulating of the DNA of the human individuals. Manipulate their minds. So they're confused what sexuality they are. All what stitching in reference to evolution and genetic engineering, social engineering of the species of a human race. Why do you think and who's behind it? The UN had planned all along, but it goes back in the 1500s, it goes back in the ABCD period, biblical period, period, hereditary, genetic, through genetics, and changing, altering the human biotechnology, the makeup of who we are, God's given creatures, men and women, throughout history. One really needs to know about evolution and the history and the manipulation by these Nephian shape-shifting demonic entities who have been on this earth for a long, long time and manipulated mankind. The cover-up of the genetics manipulation of the human race for a long time. So the false assumption, oh, there's aliens. No, one needs to research the deception. Have you ever seen these movies about the Da Vinci Code, right? All trying to fracture the churches. What they're doing now really hate anyone with a spiritual essence about themselves, whatever spiritual belief, the fundamentalism, they want to get rid of Christianity. Hive mind, why is there D-Wave, hive mind, all this like smart, this smart 5G, and 5G is nothing compared to advancement in technology they have. So the church, influenced by the reptilian Anunnaki, the book of Enoch is extremely important to look who actually the origins of the nobility families in the Roman period right? And it might be of interest. If you don't know what the Mars project is, the My Labs project is, the Black Ops operations. It's all to do with when they have I found these videos and other information I stumbled across the other day. The elements of the underground dams, you know, the satanic elements of society and who partakes a part in that. It's for the Luciferian side. It always has been. So, thanks to another target individual, I saw his upload with the link to this particular video in it. And I need to open another tab to check my channel. So I'm just going to play the audio in the background, but I need to show where you can go and watch it and take it on the face value and research if you want. It's all planned. And this is why they AI life. So by 2030 policies in England, and my head's already here. I've seen a lot of these documents already. So why do you think they have to get rid of the real hatred of those that awaken, really, to information of fact? Because it's not just ordinary Freemasonry that you're looking at. It goes higher than that, and it goes to the slave masters, really, I would call it, the puppets on the string. It's not the billionaires, trillionaires, or corporations. It's the non-human entities at the top of the pyramid pulling the strings behind the scenes. All you see is front men and women control puppets. So, on that note, I will screen share. I think I am still this channel. But I'm going to play the audio in the background just for a very short time. This is going to be. I know I've been listening to this description. I'll just check this other one first. You see, I know this internet is being rerouted and jammed. Internet connections being jammed and rerouted. And there's a reason why they're doing that.
The feeling of being watched has the power to elicit a basic primal fear. We all know the pressure of trying to perform when being watched by an audience, and how it can make the simplest tasks seem daunting. And we can all imagine the cold shock of fear we would feel to find out that someone had been surreptitiously watching us as we went through our daily lives. Being watched carries a number of implications that put us into a fearful state. It evokes the feeling of being vulnerable, prey to an unseen predator that could strike at any moment. But it also places us in a position of social pressure and anxiety.
So this is nothing new about being watched. Target individuals are 24 hours a day. on the system of international watch list. Everything about their personal life is out there. You see, they have to experimentation of technology, and the advancement for the future is one hive mind uploaded to a supercomputer D-Wave. So they have to test their effects. Now, first, everything to do with the future, there has to be a reset. There has to be economically reset. There has to be a crash of the markets to reset in the control system, banking system. Then there needs to be control of what you spend. This is social credit system in China, right? England's already hinted at this by a certain individual. They're not really politicians. We the people hold the power. So already what I've been seeing is small things really, but then it just leads to the bigger picture. When you do your own due diligence and research, the internet will be controlled. If you don't pass the zero credits or do what these corporations, they're not governments, they're businesses, but they're going to try and imply if you don't do what we require of you, then you won't have access to your bank account, your credits in your bank account, or you can only spend the credits they want you to be a consumer. You won't have the ability to save, you know, and if you don't spend it in a certain period of time, then it will just get deleted out of the bank automatically. Oh, and if you go over your social, um, the agendas of what they call it, you know, they're calling everything climate change and zero emissions, and they're um, the new King of England, Charles, is absolutely pushing that as well. Other people in business are. This goes back to the UN, um, all their previous meetings they've had, the trilateral commissions in America, UN 1992, that they had to start planning this up with the policies, even further back than that. So, what with advanced the technologies, you may not know that it's extremely advanced, and what they're telling us, 5G is nothing. They are working on people's brains. The implants in the brain, in the public domain being pushed, is nothing what they're really doing behind the scenes to target individuals. But you can't actually state the real I mean, the patterns. I haven't done a stream about the patterns for a long time. I might try and dig them out at some point I've saved and show you the evidence. 1950s, when the television was invented, it wasn't for just to watch. It was a teleprogramming of the mind. Then obviously what the telephone originally was a telegram, and everything invented in that technology, primitive technology years ago, to date to what it is all been by design. You soon will not need your phones or your laptops or computers because it's a bit like in the movies, hinting what's going on. The majority report is actually going to be richly pre-thought, pre-crime. So you will have this, like in the movie, in the script, it's a sci-fi type movie. One will have these drones monitoring you and your ISIS and your eyes. You know, one needs to go and watch that movie and just re-look at it on a different aspect and for the future. Okay, this is not a scaremongering type stream. It's just one needs to be aware and be prepared. for those that have the ability already is even if you're in the middle of nowhere, in another part of the world, and they're still going to find you. This technology, AI, will find you. It depends on the infrastructure. So I will get, if you can afford it, before the system crashes, get your military night vision, night military version, if you can afford it, of like lights, you know, all practical things you would need off grid. Even if you live in a city or an apartment, one may need that very, very soon, especially if you're in England. I was raised, and I'm going to do a different channel, if depending on what happens in my situation at the moment, that will give a few tips about what I was raised up on in a certain period with literally nothing. So I was raised to make do. I was taught skills. We had a coal fire then, and we literally what all this means really at the moment is going back to your very, very basic skills, your ability to make things, make use of materials, and if you look at videos, goes back to the Great Depression period. Well, that's where the world is going to, unless you're part of a certain percentage of the global controlled elitists, and you're okay, Jack. You just want like a bit like that program called the Hunger Games. That reminds me of the old history from Roman period in the biblical text, and some of those movies, which I like watching the old movies occasionally. It gives the indication, because these TV shows and programs and movies don't come out with scripts like that just for nothing. It's getting the psyche of the individual ready. So, as I said, I'm just going to audio play this in the background. We'll show you. Yeah, they're still monitoring what I'm doing, but I don't care. Because you soon won't be able to access the internet of things unless you pass a certain behaviour, perhaps, score. It really is just like what China's pushed Switzerland's, other countries, but this is excellent YouTube channel to go and watch. The audio, I'm just going to show you the channel where you can go watch it. People get to know. It's really, really good. Days an hour. I won't be here on here long. I'll go back to where I was. I'll find it. Okay, yeah.
The love of sin, because all the world has to do is promote wealth, vanity, lust, attention, and put on TikTok videos, and people won't objectively look at life anymore. They'll just say, "Tell me what I need to do to get back to normal. Tell me what I need to do to get back to my life, so I can get back on TikTok, so I can get back to goblin mode, so I can get back to all these superficial things." Why they're transitioning our whole society away from us being in control of anything in our lives,
anything at all. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it strange, like how all of this sudden, guys, just pay attention. It's hard because we're inundated with so much nonsense and media and controversy and contradictory information, random information. I mean, that's what the internet is. It's just random, and that's what's dangerous about the internet is there's no guidelines. And I'm not saying there should be guidelines, but what I mean is there's no real guidelines to teach you how to use the internet. You just get on there and let your flesh take you where it will. And unfortunately, most people aren't necessarily fit to be surfing on the internet. And I'm not saying there should be rules regulating who can and who can't. The point is, the internet is like a Pandora's box, and it's non-neutral like technology is. It does good and it does horrible things. It fries people's brains, and unfortunately now we have these new apps, TikTok, etc., that take the darkest, deepest, most narcissistic and pathological areas of the internet and puts it in a nice little box, and it's targeted towards young people. So it's even 10 times worse because it's affecting the future now.
And I have a scripture that's perfect for this, and it says, this is Titus 1:15 and 16. It says, unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. But even their mind and conscience is defiled. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable, disobedient unto every good work, reprobate. That's exactly what we're seeing. See, technology is not taking us out into a bad version. It's only taking those people who have their conscience seared, who are reprobate.
It is.
They're the people who are losing their selves and their identity to technology. We see it as just a tool.
Losing themselves and their identity to technology, we see it as just a tool. Perfectly said.
Yeah. See, so therefore we don't have to say, because we understand that, we're going to use things. It's normal to say we're going to create tools and we're going to use things, right? Because God gave us a mind to have ingenuity and creativity, but we don't love these things, nor do we lose ourselves because we're being led away of sin.
Yes. Yeah.
So
facts, and let's think about this. Isn't it strange how all of the sudden you have all of these companies coming out, ESGs, we need to do something for the environment. Now, it isn't to say climate change, which was once global warming, we had all of these different scares. It isn't to say they always haven't been mentioning these things over the years. But isn't it wild how all of a sudden this is all we're hearing, and it's being shoved down our throats and forced into our lives now. And now they're like accelerating it to the degree that they're creating false wars, rumors of wars, reasons to fund this transition. You hear the term transition everywhere now. Oh, get ready for pain. Get ready for transition. Get ready for loss. It's like, huh? Since when? I mean, you guys have this silly little scamdemic thing, and then all of a sudden you can just tell us the sky is falling, and we're just going to accept it, and we're going to forget that things were roughly, fairly normal a few years ago. We're just going to accept all this because, see, we're so beat down mentally and emotionally that we're in a position now where we're just like, yeah, do whatever, have your way, right? Now, why does it seem like all of these companies are jumping on this? Well, because these companies know we're going to this new digital world, so there's new money coming. See, that's
they need to be relevant.
They need to be relevant, but they need to adjust their system and their business to accept the new money. See, we're getting rid of the old money. There's new cashless, digital everything, human capital they call it. Data, big data. So they're like, look, let's just make this happen because we're going to get paid like crazy once we do the transition. This is what they're saying.
A good example is Amazon One right now, where I have people telling me that they went into a Whole Foods store now, scanning their palms, having their cars already uploaded to their network, going and grabbing everything, and then the sensors and cameras just keep everything. It's contactless, payless. You just grab what you want and leave. That system is out right now. I have people telling me I just went to Whole Foods at a location, scanned my palm, uploaded my card before I went there, and just grabbed what I want and didn't have to even deal with a cashier. Imagine how many jobs this takes self-checkout out of the. So now we went from cashier to self-checkout to no checkout. You just grab what you want, and then how many jobs, if this goes on a large scale, which it will, how many jobs are lost? How many people, even the cashier, even self-checkout needs cashier to monitor it. They're getting rid of that.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be AI, people controlling these. things at home from different spaces. You just walk into the store. All you have is security. If you notice that in all the stores, security is the only thing.
Hacking into my phone, so what's on here?
It's beefing up. You'll see more guards in stores now. You'll see more people watching you, but you don't have much customer service anymore because customer service is being phased out.
That's why they do the AI, isn't it?
Humans are being phased out. This is automated.
Exactly. Yep.
So these companies know they're not going to have to deal with as many people. They have new money. Yep. They sit back. They have automating their prior infrastructure, or their logistics. Now their logistics don't require all of the material and the manpower. Now they have new AI, which will be replacing software. See, we're used to software. Software has run our industries and most of our lives for the past, say, at least 20 years. AI is replacing. We'll get into that when we go into AI and automation. But they're getting ready to take advantage of this new money. Basically, that's why they're just throwing everything to the wind and allowing all of us to suffer because they have big payment around the corner. Not only that, they also will be controlling resources like never before because we'll have things centralized, hence blockchain, and of course CBDC.
Yes. Imagine this. Why do you think they're allowing even sin to be celebrated? Now, prostitution is now virtual. You have to
So I'll keep it there. So, as a hacking into the internet, go and check out that video. Signing out.